What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one and the only. It is Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, it was a long, good night of Siege last night. You know, I was getting really used to that Splatoon shooting. I'm still going back today for some more, but It was nice to kind of get back to the usual.
The more tactical, I would think, in a sense.
Yeah.
A different style of tactics, I think, maybe, perhaps.
Oh, dropping cap can mines at every door. That's my thing.
It certainly is. Scott, we got an interesting show lined up today where people can join us live Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/the official ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Coming up on today's show, Sony confirms more details of their upcoming VR headset, but fans are going to be disappointed. GTA 6 hacker continues with apparently new details for Bully 2, and Sony is about to launch another PS5. Scott, here's your chance.
Well, we'll see about that.
But before we get to that, Scott, dude, breaking news yesterday. This was disappointing. As an industry insider ourselves, covering the world of video games and what we do on a daily basis, weekly basis, and embargoes and such. So let's get into what happened yesterday. Gaming Insider leaker exposed as just a YouTuber breaking embargoes and NDAs. This comes from Paul Tassi over at Forbes. There's always one guy that makes everything harder for the rest of us, and today that guy is Dan Allen, a YouTuber who recently exposed himself as an anonymous gaming industry leaker, The Real Insider. The Real Insider has been posting information inside about a lot of projects over time, most recently the contents of Ubisoft's then upcoming Ubisoft Forward showcase. But it turns out that was possible because it simply was Allen given access by the companies themselves and then promptly breaking the embargoes he was given by writing anonymously through his Real Insider account. Allen exposed himself, Scott, by replying to a follower from the wrong account, his personal one, which led none other than to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier to go down a massive rabbit hole. And we all basically, dude, he got exposed big time yesterday. And what a bust. Why? Dude, this is irritating. We sign embargoes for games. We have games we can't talk about. We have games that are timed for reviews, this, that, and the other. And we hold those embargoes with the respect to our peers, with the respect to the companies we work with, and we follow them for a reason, right? And
yeah,
for us personally, I was talking to some friends online yesterday as well. Steve Agvari, friend of the show. John Scar, friend of the show. Dude, like, nobody's impressed by this. Like, why would you do that? You lost all trust. I even saw some of our PR contacts yesterday tweeting out about, well, there goes this guy. Like, that's just it, right? For 5 minutes of fame, you just lost everything.
Yeah, blacklisted himself forever.
Man,
but I struggle to understand the motivation behind something like this. Would you just drop all these hints just to feel like the guy,
make yourself feel bigger?
You feel like the guy in the know, but you're ruining fun for other people anyways. And the idea of leaks in general is not an exciting concept to me. It's more of a negative.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a fan of leaks. I hate leaks. We talk about this all the time. We cover the leaks, obviously, because that's the nature of what we do here. But at the same time, man, I hate leaks. Like, the last thing I want to get spoiled on is anything. Like, Brad and I are talking about God of War earlier today. He's like, dude, I'm so nervous. Like, I get everybody's nervous now, right? There's so many things being leaked and this, that, and the other. It's just, Brad comments up and he says, this is really disappointing because you guys and him were the ones that that got me into interviewing voice actors. Yeah, well, dude, we're still here. Because right now, if you go to Dan Allen on Twitter, his account's deleted. So yeah, I jumped in a late. What did this guy do? Blaze, he broke embargoes and then busted himself, replying to a fan with his personal account. He was leaking all of his information and embargoed information on a fake Twitter account, and then came over and replied with the wrong account and busted himself. So his account's back up now and running. But still, nobody's gonna trust this guy, right? I think that's the biggest thing. We want to be trusted, and we want to make sure we can get the next game and work with the companies that we work with and things we've been able to play and have access to beforehand. And if we break it, man, like there's no going back, right? You get one shot at this.
It's a very key part of what we do as well. You're getting, even if it's a 2-week, a 3-day embargo where you can't speak about it, that's just the nature of the business. For somebody to go and do something like this, it ruins that perception for everybody. Is everybody going to be a little bit more tightly held with the codes, with the embargoes, just because of this? It doesn't help anybody in the industry.
No, not at all, right? And then the big fiasco the other day with the GTA 6 leaker holding Rockstar for ransom, more or less. Like, man, what a week, and it's only Tuesday. Scott, holy crap, Scott. Let's get into this today's show though, as PSVR games will not work with PSVR 2. Man, what is Sony doing? Sony has confirmed the new headset is not backwards compatible. This comes from Stephanie over at VG247. If you were hoping your PlayStation VR games would be compatible with PSVR 2, we're sorry to report that will not be the case. Sony has confirmed that PSVR games will not be playable on PSVR 2. The news comes from the most recent PlayStation blog podcast, in which Hideki Nishio, Sony senior VP and platform experience, broke the bad news. Scott, this sucks because I was kind of really hoping that they'd be able to carry that library forward. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
There's an installed base for PSVR, but it's small, and a lot of us, I think, still want to be able to carry those games over. Dude, I haven't touched my PSVR in a long time. Very long time. 6. Dude, it's too much to get connected, and then I'm back on PS4. I'm on my PS5, man. I'm not looking to go backwards, but apparently neither is Sony, as there will not be anything. I get the tech has moved forward, dude, in like a dramatic way, but I'm telling you, like, there are some amazing games that will now get left behind. And
I'm wondering if this is a developer kind of issue where there needs to be updates to run these games on newer hardware, but the updates don't come from Sony in that case.
I don't know, because if you take a look at Iron Man, dude, Iron Man on VR, PlayStation VR 1 was fantastic. Like, that's an amazing game, but is it because it's tied to the One controllers? But now we have new controllers, so they shouldn't really interfere, I would think, all that much. Maybe it's a little bit of rework by the developers to bring it over, but I'm hoping they can figure out something.
It sounds like something that an emulation would work properly for, but that's a drag because I thought they were putting out releases. They were giving out little PSVR 1 titles over time.
They were.
Isn't that part of the PlayStation Plus or whatever that was at the time? Plus. There was
there was a bunch of games getting dropped in the world of VR, so that way it seemed to be lining up, right? In the grand scheme of things. Well, every month when PlayStation Plus comes around, you get your certain games, and sometimes you get access, and you would have the ability to download a PlayStation VR game. Okay, you don't have VR, no worries. Download it, sits in your library, right? And then when you go over to PS5 and you go over to PSVR 2, then it's going to be there. Well, now apparently that doesn't matter. It's just, I'm like, what? Again, it seems like just a bit of a misstep moving everything forward, right? We see everything now. Dude, take a look at your Steam library. How many games do you have on there? And how many old games? Like, they're just not going to disappear on you. And now Xbox going backwards compatible with everything. PlayStation starting to try to come around with their PlayStation Plus, and all the other things they're working on.
I'm worried though. Is this an opportunity for them to sell an upgrade patch for each of these PSVR games for $10 to upgrade it to the next gen? I don't like the sound of that, but
no.
At the same time, that would salvage a huge collection of games for most people.
Absolutely, but when we take a look over at Quest, right? There's Quest 1, Quest 2. Dude, that library just sticks with you. Like, I haven't lost any of my... I had the original Rift. Like, I haven't lost any of those games. They're still on my computer if I wanted to play them. So I don't know why Sony can't seem to figure out how to carry some of these games forward. Dude, I don't want people to lose Moss. Moss is an amazing game. Moss 2, dude, is out right now, and it's on last gen. So it's not even on next gen. So now do the developers have to make Moss 2 for PSVR 2 to be able to play that? And then if you do own that game, how does that work? Do you have to buy it all over again? Like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, what a mess. That's unfortunate because I hope this PSVR 2 takes off really well. But for that to happen, it has to have the sales behind it. Well, and if you're going to sell it, it's much more attractive if you can play all your games already. It's very puzzling what Sony and PlayStation have done because I'm not certain if I take a PS3 disc, can I put that into PS5? Does it run yet?
No,
because I don't believe it does.
No,
and that's very strange to me. The idea of not being backwards compatible is just strange with me.
Yeah, dude, that was one of the reasons why people had PlayStation 2 back in the day. Like, it had backwards compatibility with that. Everything was moving forward, yeah, it was still somehow moving backwards, keeping your backlog with you and moving it into PS3, PS2 era, PS4, like, you want to be able to carry that library over and then just grow your library. You don't want it to shrink every time you buy a new console. And this kind of seems the way with PSVR 2 is going to move. And now I get it's brand new tech, but man, so is everything else we get on a regular basis. And yet we can still tap into old games from years ago. So I'm hoping that they come with a patch and allow us to get into some of our older games. Does definitely have a different functionality. The wand controllers are dude, I thought it was a weird thing to start with, that they didn't have some kind of system, but those
are already quite aged by the time they...
Dude, yeah, it was weird, but that's how kind of that's going. We'll see where it goes if they fix it. I'm hoping they do. I can see Sony going, okay, here you go. Here is PSVR 2, and later on, 6 months, a year, okay, here, now you have access to your old games and stuff like that. I think they have to bring it with them. I don't think they can let it slide, because no one's going to go back in time to play this old clunky VR headset that runs almost like at 720, or we're going to be up to 4K.
Set it up with the towers, the camera. Man. Yeah, it's not... That's the whole point of the new upgrade. It's supposed to be much better going forward.
Absolutely. Scott, let's get into this hacker once again. GTA 6 hacker claims to have Bully 2 details. Let's go to Mike Diver over at Gaming Bible. The same teapot
Uber hacker.
Whatever, buddy. Go away. Who has claimed responsibility for the Grand Theft Auto 6 leak of the weekend, read all about that here, has apparently also found himself in possession of some significant information and materials relating to another long-awaited Rockstar title, Bully 2. Scott, we've all been speculating for years that there's a Bully 2.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where we left it, right? Like, nothing's ever been confirmed, nothing's ever been said, but we've heard a lot about how a second Bully game is in development, about how it suffered a false start, was due for a reveal before being paused, and how it's still in the works despite so much of Rockstar's teams focused on the next mainline GTA title. Not that Rockstar itself has ever stated anything confirming the existence of this sequel in 2006 game for the PS2, Scott, PS2 era. Like, man,
I'm surprised it was all the way back in 2006. I played it on 360 much more recently.
Yeah, but now this teapot person claims they've got their hands on Bully 2 development plans. Dude, those plans I take with a grain of salt. Who knows what they are, what they look like, or even if they're real.
Yeah, and even if they are real, if they're relevant anymore, if they were to restart the project or, pick up the pieces and continue.
Yeah.
If it's such an old plan, they're likely going to have to rework it anyways.
That's what I would think, right? I think whatever this person may have doesn't really matter. All our hopes and dreams were kind of left a long time ago, but we can still kind of keep that hope alive a little bit. Dude, they gotta work on something for Bully 2.
Oh man, Bully 2, that's an easy way to make a boatload of cash for sure. Like, I would have major confidence in another Bully title.
Absolutely, but I think they have more confidence right now in GTA 6.
That's very true as well.
You want to make money.
Probably nothing's going to sell as well as GTA 6.
Not at all, right? Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Dude, Sony to launch a new PlayStation 5 with a detachable disc drive, sources suggest. This is over at Insider Gaming. The PlayStation 5 is set to get a unique overhaul in the middle of fiscal year 2023, with a new console launching around September 2023, say sources. Sources familiar with the Sony plans have shared details under the condition of anonymity outlining the next iteration of the PlayStation 5. It's been suggested that this new console will completely replace the A, B, and C chassis that have been in production since the console's launch. The console, currently named the D chassis, PlayStation 5, will have almost identical hardware to the existing consoles already on the market. The most surprising new feature is the new PS5, though, is that the console will have a detachable disc drive. That's an interesting little thought, Scott. A detachable disc drive. Is it okay? I think this might be an internal thing. The detachable disc drive will be connected to the PlayStation 5 using an external USB-C port on the back of the console. It's understood that the new PlayStation 5 console will be sold on its own or in a bundle with the detachable. So for those who don't know, right now PlayStation has two models, right? You have the discless, which is just a hard drive, or you have the disc version. I have the disc version. My brother has a discless. Steve from the show has the disc version. The disc version, more money. So now I think what they're doing, Scott, is they're giving you the ability of going, okay, let's slim it down. Let's stop, first of all, producing two consoles. Let's produce one console only, and then give you the ability, if you are a collector like Brad, Northern Nerdcast, who joins us all the time on the show, if you are a collector and are looking to use those discs, you can now attach an external disc drive. Dude, this is I'm laughing, but at the same time, it's just weird.
It does make sense in a commercial way, but it is kind of strange. Right? I'm wondering what the size reduction will be overall. Are they really going to? Is this because they already have a discless version?
Yeah,
but that's not what this is talking about. This is talking about a brand new thing. So, is this the PS5 Slim, and this is how they were able to achieve it?
Maybe.
The idea of an extra disc drive, though, I think I said to Brad, it reminds me of way back with the 360, the HD DVD drive that you had to get separately and add on, and that was wacky. But it was in the time when 360 had multiple different models. That was the idea.
Yeah.
Pick and choose what you like.
Oh man, well dude, let's keep going pick and choosing as Xbox Series X update makes great change to game installs. Let's go from Ben Carey over at Pure Xbox. Xbox has implemented a pretty awesome new feature in the latest console update. The Xbox Series X 2206 update has made some welcome changes to the offline installs for physical games. Basically, prior to the update, Xbox One disc games required an online check-in for the use of the Xbox Series X, even when a smart delivery upgrade wasn't available. Xbox's Ian Marie says that check wasn't usually needed, and it has now been removed so that more games can be played fully offline. Scott, what are your thoughts?
Oh, you just experienced an issue with your Xbox, I believe, when you went offline for a little while. And that was due to no fault of your own. Somebody crashed and took out the infrastructure.
Yeah.
But it's such a drag that you can't actually just put the disc in the console and run it. That's the point of owning the disc, I thought. Yeah, I understand why it is that way, though. And that's, unfortunately, it's because of piracy.
I get it.
I have a lot more information, a lot more knowledge on piracy on the 360 era, and they were constantly trying to come up with something to defend. It's an arms race back and forth, and
It's
I think
tough.
it came to an end with, well, everything has to check online now. What are you going to do about it?
Well, the problem. Okay, so here's the problem. Over the weekend, my internet died. That was it. There was a big accident in my area, and it took out our fiber optic line and put us my whole town out of internet. All weekend long, I could not play on my Xbox because they have to be online connected, right? What do I dude, there's nothing I can do. Literally nothing I can do with my Xbox. And Nate goes, "Oh, you had no gaming?" Not true. I actually turned on my PlayStation and played my games.
Man.
Right? So there on the other side of it, it's just, dude, it was one heck of an accident that they actually pulled it right out of the ground. Yeah, it was a fiasco, Brad. It was something else, man. But so they sliced right through it, but it forced me. I say forced me. It's not like I have a hard time pick up my PlayStation, but I was working on stuff on Xbox and I couldn't get to it, right? So from there, I went over to PlayStation and worked on some stuff over there instead. But that's the difference is, why can't I just turn on my console and play my game, Scott?
Yeah, I thought we had defeated that a whole console generation ago with the idea of having an always online connection. I got laughed out of the room.
Dude, it's disappointing, right? That's the biggest thing. I get having to be online all the time. Everybody's connected all the time. But sometimes things happen and I wasn't able to get connected. And from there, my Xbox more or less just turned into a brick until the internet came back on. And then away we go again. It's just what a weird circumstance for that. And then I know a lot of people complained about that, especially when it moved over. But now that you can play offline if you have a disc, dude, I download everything. I don't have a disc of anything.
Yeah,
so it still doesn't help.
Yeah, I wonder if there's going to be a workaround for that eventually as well. Because if you own it, you own it. In my eyes, you've already paid for it. I'm back from the day where you were allowed legally to make your own copies of games that you owned. You can straight up just so old, put Scott. It on a verbatim. Well, the world's changed, you know. These pirates really ruined it for the rest of us.
Oh man, it's something else, I tell you.
That's why I joined the light side and came to you guys.
There you go. Now you just gotta join the PlayStation family too, and then that'll change. Scott,
I'm working on it.
I want to get to one quick announcement here. Disney Dreamlight Valley hit 1 million villagers. Dude, I know a ton of people playing this game. Have you checked it out yet?
No. I've seen a lot of people talk about it, though. It's very popular. Is this the one it's compared to Animal Crossing?
Yes. But in the world of Disney. And there's this dark vine, spiky vine kind of taking over the area. And you got to liberate it and... Yeah.
Is Sora there? Can I defeat Sora?
I don't know. Dude, you have to talk to Garrett and he'll tell you all about it. Scott, we do have a couple releases today though, buddy. What do we have? We got a big one.
Yes, this is one that I'm very excited for. I'll be in that in about 1 hour, actually. Deathloop is making its debut on Xbox Series consoles. It's also day one Game Pass. That's how I'm on it. There's also Hard Space Shipbreaker, and that is on the Xbox Series consoles and PlayStation 5. Jack Move is on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and Solstice is on the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series, and PC.
Solstice looks cool. I want to jump back into Deathloop. Scott, how anticipated are you of jumping into Deathloop? I know you've been waiting for this one for a while.
Oh, I'm super excited about this one. Because I have this one drip fed to me, the PlayStation 5 can wait another month, but I'm still working on it.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit, dude. But just like that, Scott, this has been ITG Daily. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us. You can always join us live at 11 a.m. Eastern over on twitch.tv/theofficial ITG, as well as YouTube at ITG. But if you can't join us live, hit us up later inside the game.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Until tomorrow, everybody, I'm Drew, that's Scott, and we'll see you inside the game.